Hey everybody, and welcome to the SydCast, the place where I just talk about random stuff, and you have to listen to it. On this episode, I'm going to show you my entire Uno collection, because frankly, that's just what I want to talk about. So basically, to introduce this, I collect Uno cards. I love Uno cards. I love the game. It's a good game. I enjoy playing it. So every time I see an Uno deck out in the real world, I buy it. I purchase it immediately. No matter how much money I have in my bank account or my wallet, I promise you that that deck of Uno cards is going home with me. Now, I'm nowhere close to being the person to own the most Uno cards. I wish I was, but sadly, there's this lovely couple that has a couple hundred on me, so I'm not gonna exactly reach that many, but oh, I sure am going to try, won't I? So to open up, this is my first ever Uno deck that I've ever had. Clearly it's been through like 7 different world wars. I just want to give you a gist of what Uno cards do look like, because what you're about to see is random cards that I've just obtained over the years I've existed. So just to give you a more flat basis, this is another one of my decks that I've obtained. It's just a regular normal deck. So yeah, that's basically it. I've tried not to play with this one, but the main gist of just showing you this is to show you that I only take the highest of quality Uno cards into my possession. You know, I don't really cheap out here. I only buy the most, elite, really nice Uno decks. So don't let the box fool you. This Ultimate Marvel deck is actually the size of normal cards. It just includes some really fancy things because they wanted to bouge it up a little bit. So good up for my next one. This is BTS. I don't listen to BTS. I don't observe BTS at all. This is slightly smaller than the Uno Ultimate Marvel edition. I've also never opened it. The plastic film wrap is still on there. They really went out of their way for the 50th anniversary box. They have regular 50th anniversary cards, which I do not have, but for the actual full box, it's really cool. They have instructions. They have your normal 2 decks, still in the film wrap because I don't want to open these ones because of how nice they are. And this exclusive 50 gold coin, which is really nice. The boxed lid also has a bunch of languages on it. I'm not really sure what these say. I only took high school Spanish for 2 years, and that's about it. So other than the English parts, I don't know what we're reading. This is one of the original ones. I know it says deluxe on it, but that's just what they called it. But the cool thing about this is Uno is actually played with a score sheet, or at least a point system. It uses golf rolls. So when someone finishes by, getting rid of all of their cards, whatever cards you have left are actually points, and whoever has the most points at the end loses. So next up is giant sized Uno cards. They're pretty nicely made, crazy enough. You'd expect them to be like the super thick book pages, but actually they're the same, thinness of a regular card. So we're going to be moving on to the small cards that I have. I have to be very in depth with these because I've had people see my Uno collection and be like, "You bought 2 of the same deck." I didn't actually. Next up, we have this electronic Uno. We know it's at least from the 80s or 90s. Oh, it's from Radio Shack. That's what we all wanted to look at. Enhance. Oh, beautiful. But next up, we're going to give it up for the Dose cards, which instead of the normal 1 deck you play into, there's 2 separate decks that you place cards on. Next up is Uno Flip, which is just Uno, but they're 2-sided cards. So in the middle of the game, you can play a flip card, and you change from the normal colors to these different fun contrasted colors. That's the only difference. These I'm pretty sure just came out because I just found it at the store. They're Platinum Edition. They're basically just holographic, and they're different looking. So Uno Dare is basically the exact same as regular Uno, except you have the option, instead of drawing, to do a fun little dare, like, hey, do a backflip right now in the middle of the game, or draw the 4 cards. So once again, this is just Uno, but different. This one, it's Uno, but you can specify who you want the punishment to go to by writing their name on the card. So no matter whose turn it is, if you really want to give Jeff 4 cards, give him the 4 cards. Next up is the All Wilds cards. They're holographic, the same. So colors don't matter anymore, it's just numbers. This is my favorite deck, Uno Minimalist. It's just prettier cards, that's the only difference. Uno Splash is clear plastic cards with a little key ring for you to take them on the go, and they're also waterproof, obviously. They float in water and you can't really damage them. Uno also made playing cards, in which this is a 2-in-1 set. I'm only going to count this as 1 card, but yeah, they're 2 decks of just regular playing cards. So these are my Super Mario cards. One's in a tin, one's in a box. They're the exact same. And this is the Mario Kart one. They're different. These ones are in cars. The other people aren't. So during the 50th anniversary for Uno, they made a series of 5 Uno decks where they commemorate the different decades. We have the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. Ooh, do I hate the 2010s one. Just emojis are so lame. Speaking of emojis, Uno emoji, you aren't any better. Next up is Uno corn. It's a pun. Instead of unicorn, it's Uno corn. Let's speedrun. Here's all the Disney ones. Disney Parks. Harry Potter. Star Wars. Barbie, the new movie Barbie. Spirited Away. That's DreamWorks. Still here. Encanto. Jurassic World. Mickey and Friends. And finally, Disney Princess. Now we're going to go on to the random ones. Here's the Uno Pride Edition one. The Super Bowl one. Okay, so the people who collect Uno cards and the people who watch the Super Bowl are on a Venn diagram that do not cross. I don't know what's going on with this one. Give it up for not 1, but 2 Tokyo 2020 decks. This was an oopsie on my part. Still count them for 2 of them. Next up is the Mattel 1945, and all of the cards have different Mattel toys on them, as the card says. Give it up for the Zelda fans. We have a Legend of Zelda Uno deck. Oh, and don't worry, Minecraft fans, I got you covered too. Next up is SpongeBob Meme. We got The Office. It's the Office themed cards. We got all your favorite Office characters. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, but I have. And finally, we have the anime one, which has Dragon Ball Z characters on it, because you can see Goku, but don't worry, they're different cards. So yeah, that is all of my Uno cards. As you can see, I have that many right there. So that's it. Before editing, this was 25 minutes long, so I hope I condensed it enough, but still got the important information out there. If you enjoyed, support the drip, and thanks for watching. I'll see you later.